There's no fucking hack, bro. There's no fucking hack.
You've got your own path. Self-sufficient, self-supported, self-dominated. That's the person that leaves a mark in society.
See, what you resist will persist. What you resist will persist. So one of the most important things is to begin to embrace your fear.
Do it, and do it, and do it, and do it. That's the hack. The hack is gonna fucking suck. And that's what I realized.
If what's driving you to ascend that hierarchy is because it's gonna make you better and the people around you better, that's good. If you're doing it for your own ego though, that's a problem.
It's so easy to be great nowadays, my friend, because most people are weak. Most people don't want to go to that extra mile. Most people don't want to find that extra because it sucks. It's miserable. It's lonely.
Making a decision from fear often begets more fear because you're limiting the possibility that's there. You're saying, oh, it's going to be this way or this way in your mind, and so you're creating that reality.
Yeah, you may this and that and saunas and all this shit that yeah, it's great. There is no fucking life hack. To grow that thing, how do you grow it?
But I have to be in it to win it. You know, I have to see the problem as a possible solution, not as a problem. That every problem isn't a problem, but a situation that I can manipulate with hard work, ingenuity, thought process to create a better end state. And that's what I'm doing.
And if you want to feel a great regret in life, it's making a decision against your instinct and then it failing. Making a decision in line with your instinct and then it failing is much less of a place to fall from than making a decision against your instincts and then it fails.
We might not get everything that we fight for, but everything we get, it will be a fight. And I love the quote that life is a fight for territory. And once you stop fighting for what you want, what you don't want will automatically take over.
To get out of sadness, and I've been sad many times in my life, the thing that's helped me get out of it is realizing that a perceived lack of options is what causes sadness, not a lack of options, a perceived lack of options, which means that all I have to do is figure out what I need to do, and figuring it out becomes the option.
The only true test of intelligence is if you get what you want out of life. And there are two parts to that. One is getting what you want, so you know how to get it. And the second is wanting the right things, knowing what to want in the first place. I could want to be a 6'8" basketball player, and I'm not going to get that. So it's wanting the wrong thing.
The magic you are looking for is in the work you're avoiding. Fuck, dude. The magic you are looking for is in the work you're avoiding.
You fall in love with your own intelligence, boy, and you're going to be in some sort of trouble because I don't care how smart you are, you're not smart enough, and that is not the only virtue.
We think it's further away than it is. And because we think it's so far away, Jay, we create patterns and behaviors in our life that perpetually keep it there.
The thing that you fear has already come to pass.
Yeah.
And you've been part of the architect that's put it together as well.
Emotionally, yeah.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that's very important to note about stress is that stress primarily comes from not taking action over something that you can have some control over.
That you can do the you want to do because the world is yours. Disregard the loud ladies walking past. I'm just playing, ladies. You can do whatever you want. The world is yours.
You have to have an emotional investment in what you're doing. If you don't love what you're doing, failure is pretty much guaranteed. Success is not guaranteed by any means, but failure is much more likely if you don't love what you do.
The genius thing that we did was we didn't give up. We didn't say, because these guys, we use that what do they know approach. We didn't give up at that point. I think that that was the genius thing we did.
Like, you don't have to be the best, but you have to be dangerous, right? You have to learn just enough to be dangerous, to build an idea, concept it, and show it to the world. And then it turns out there are lots of other people, including all 170 employees that work at Instagram, who are much better at doing all that stuff than I am.
And you just keep punching, and believe it or not, times, get good. And it goes back to what I, once again, preach. When times are really bad, we forget they're ever going to be good again. And when times are really good, we forget they're going to be bad again. And we need to always remember that so the paddle doesn't get you.
Start doing the thing that you want and live your life fully. It's similar to that idea that when you've reached a particular level of personal development, you'll be able to. But this is even more ground floor than that. This is more applicable to more people, because even if you're not doing personal growth, there is this sense that you're just going to delay gratification.
I like to win. I love to win. And people that love to win, they're gonna be successful. But it's okay losing sometimes. You might not win all the time, because you always say tomorrow. I lost today, but tomorrow I'm gonna make up for it. So be prepared to take losses in business.
Circles today in young men and old men, when they talk about toughness, most of the time they talk about physical toughness. I want to tell you unequivocally, there is no such thing as physical toughness if there is no mental toughness.
You can actually achieve a lot of success in life by avoiding failure. Like most success in life actually is avoiding failure. Yes, you need to be able to be competent, but first you need to not get out of the race. That's the 1 second decision, right? You need to not lose before you can win.
Right.
And the reverse role model is you weaving your way through a selection of people that you don't want to be like. And I think that you can get an awfully long way just by doing that.
But I'm doing it as an aid to humility. It's like, well, I don't know how to start improving my life. Someone might say that. And I would say, well, you're not aiming low enough. There's something you could do that you are regarding as trivial, that you could do, that you would do, that would result in an actual improvement. But it's not a big enough improvement for you, so you won't lower yourself enough to take the opportunity.
Imagine life as a game. What are you solving for? What are your metrics? And I think when you really kind of analyze it and went, well, if this was going to be a scoreboard at the end and you're only really competing with yourself, there's nothing in being better than anyone else. There's only honor in being better than yourself last year. So the idea of going, well, what would be the important things?
Everything moves towards entropy. Life is chaos. It takes an inhuman amount of effort to bring order to that, to find success in the middle of that. So while I cannot promise you success, I can promise you failure. I cannot promise you happiness, but I can promise sadness. So if you know those are the guarantees and the other things are the things that you have to strive for, you better be striving in service of something that in and of itself is interesting to you.
But be tough. You better have a part about you that's tough, a part about you that can break down situations and get better. And break down situations very quickly within some trauma in your life, some devastation in your life, because it's gonna come. The devastation, the trauma is gonna come. And you can't allow that to become a Jersey barrier. It can't be a Jersey barrier. It has to be something that you can maneuver through very quickly and move forward. That takes a lot of toughness.
Toughness is not about how many push-ups you can do or what you can bench press or how far you can run. Toughness is in the mind. And your body can be the most perfect, the most conditioned specimen. But if you don't have a tough mind, if you don't have a toughness of the mind, if you don't have a tough will, you're not tough. It's all pointless.
You want to get better? You want to self-improve? Stop looking for a shortcut and go find your alarm clock and find your discipline and find your guts and your passion and your drive and find your will. And then you will find your freedom.
The greatest trick the devil ever played was making you believe that the pessimists are the good guys. Basically, just don't wait. Like, life is happening right now. It is there for you to enjoy. It is there for you to take. Delayed gratification in the extreme just results in no gratification. The sacrifice-reward dynamic that you are used to is great in the micro and awful in the macro. It's not about waiting for personal growth to be over. It's not about waiting for something. Life is not happening in future. It is happening right now.
Getting better isn't a hack or a trick or a one change that you need to make. Getting better is a campaign. It's a campaign. It's a daily, a weekly, it's an hourly fight. incessant fight that doesn't stop against weakness and against temptation and against laziness. It's a campaign of discipline. It's a campaign of hard work and dedication. It's waking up early and going to bed late and grinding out every second in between. Every single day.
Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. The first self-esteem is built the first 7 or 8 years of life. Who are you around the first 7 or 8 years of life? Mom, maybe dad, older brother, uncle, a grandmother, right? What the hell do they know about building self-esteem? They don't know anything. And now, show me your friends, I'll show you your future. Who do you go hang with? Who do you chill with? And he and I, we disagree about a few things, but Bill Gates doesn't hang. Steve Jobs, who I knew, didn't chill. Warren Buffett doesn't hang. Elon Musk doesn't hang. And I go down the list of people that don't hang.
The world isn't driven by greed, it's driven by envy. Our lives are objectively the best humanity has ever had, yet complaining and dissatisfaction is as high as ever. And also, because everyone usually only shows the world the best of themselves, this means that we see our own misery and our failings and foibles and vacillation from a front row seat while we watch the highlight reel of everyone else. And this makes us think that other people are doing better than they really are. And when we feel the delta between where we are and where we imagine they are, it hurts, right? There is no such thing as objective wealth. Everything is relative, and most relative to those around you.
If you find a mountain and you start climbing, you spend your whole life climbing it, and you get, say, 2/3 of the way, and then you see the peak is like way up there, but you're 2/3 of the way up, you're still really high up. But now to go the rest of the way, you're gonna have to go back down to the bottom and look for another path. Nobody wants to do that. People don't want to start over.
Yeah.
And it's the nature of later in life that you just don't have the time. So it's very painful to go back down and look for a new path, but that may be the best thing to do.
Dude, that's a part of life. You think you're the only man on this planet that's sad? Say, Dwayne, I'm going through depression. Well, welcome to the world. Welcome to the rest of us. You think I don't go through depression sometimes? You think I don't get sad sometimes? You think I don't just feel wore out and burnt plumb down to the bottom of my soul? We all do. We all do. That's what sets us apart. That's what makes us different. That's what makes us men.
You aren't necessarily the best judge of what you need. And it's easy to be deluded in what you want. And that's the sort of delusions that people chase if they chase power. If you decide instead that you're going to just say what you believe to be true, you have to let go of the consequences. And you might think, well, I don't want to let go of the consequences because I want to control what's going on. But what you miss then is adventure, because if you don't control what's going on, you don't know what the hell's going to happen. And maybe that's exciting. And actually, there's no doubt about it.
I want to fail at something that I believe in. Because failing at something that I didn't believe in will suck more than any pain in my life. So if I do something and I believed in it, and it was in line with my instincts, and I fail, you go, cool, right? Okay, I've learned something here. But God, can you imagine the regret of acting out against your instincts and then it going badly? Like,
when you're on your way up, everyone roots for you because you remind them of their dreams. When you're at the top, everyone tears you down because you remind them that they gave up on them. And you have one, which is, for anyone who needs a reminder, no one is going to hate on you for doing worse than them.
You know, the fact that life is short and can be brutal can terrify you into hiding and avoiding, but it can also, you can flip that on its head and understand that since you're all in anyways, you might as well take the risks that are adventurous. And that's a very good thing to understand. And what is also useful to understand in that manner is that there isn't anything more adventurous than the truth.
If you weren't afraid of what people thought of you, said about you, whispered about you, What could you accomplish? A lot more than you've accomplished today. A lot more. Why do we care what people think? Why do we care what people say? And more importantly, why do we care what people whisper? Because we have no self-worth. We have next to little self-esteem, and we have no self-confidence. And how do we get that way? Yes, mommy and daddy. Life expands and contracts with courage. When was the last courage type thing that you did in your lifetime?
Man, you look tired, you look sad, you look this, you look that. Look, I go through life just like you do, okay? I have battles just like you do. I stand between my family and the world just like you do. And I take the beatings so they don't have to, just like you do. Sometimes I have to stand between the church and my family so they don't have to. And I take those beatings so that my family don't have to. Sometimes I stand between myself and my family because I'm just a human too. And sometimes we as men, we have to take the reality of what we are, and we have to take it and we have to crush it down and we have to put it inside and we have to shove it down. Why? Because we have to protect our family from us.
And these are all reminders to myself is you want to be rich and anonymous, not poor and famous.